Prime Minister Mark Carney doesn't actually want to see the construction of new pipelines in Canada. He'd like to block them. If you read his book, Values, he talks about the fact that 80% of oil and natural gas needs to stay in the ground to meet his radical climate change goals. But Carney also wants to seem pragmatic and practical, and he doesn't want to be seen as outright blocking these new projects. So how does he block the projects without seeming like he's the one who wants to block them? Well, you give a veto to a radical government like BC's NDP government led by David Eby. Now, what exactly am I talking about? Last week in Ottawa, Prime Minister Mark Carney said he was willing to allow new pipeline projects to go forward as long as there is consensus, but he also said that a province where the pipeline would be going through that province should get a veto over the construction of that new pipeline. Now, under the Constitution, the federal government has the power to approve new pipelines that cross provincial boundaries, even if one of the provincial governments is not a proponent of the plan. But by giving David Eby a veto, he is allowing BC's government to do his dirty work for him. Mark Carney doesn't want to see new pipelines, but it's going to be David Eby who is blocking those pipelines. Alberta needs to see pipelines go through BC, get to BC's northern coast in order to export its oil and natural gas to Asia. That is the most viable project, but this is something that David Eby's government is against. They're in favor of tanker bans. They're in favor of production caps. So of course Mark Carney is going to give a veto to a radical government like BC's NDP government because he knows that all of these potential projects are going to be blocked by that government, which will achieve his long-term goal of not actually seeing new pipelines built in Canada. But folks, we can't allow the federal government to continue to do this. Over the past 10 years under the Liberals, $670 billion of natural resource projects have been blocked or cancelled because of the federal government's actions, and that has cost our economy tens of billions of dollars of economic activity, and it has also cost us precious natural resource jobs. Now, we are currently in an environment where we're in a trade conflict with the United States. Our unemployment rate is the highest it's been since the COVID-19 pandemic. Canada absolutely needs to move forward with these crucial energy projects, and we can't have a Prime Minister like Mark Carney standing in the way. So Mark Carney needs to get rid of his radical ideology of keeping oil and natural gas in the ground. He needs to not give vetoes to radical governments that want to see all of our future energy projects canceled, and he needs to get on board and approve pipelines that go through BC to get Alberta's energy to market, even if the Eby government is fundamentally against it.